All right, Guardians with a great come-from-behind victory last night.
What a win. What a game.
It was a great game. I am very concerned about Tristan McKenzie, who's been...
Can we say that for the Yanks? Can we talk about the good first?
Yeah. Well, all right, let's talk about the good. The good is the Bats came alive, a 5-run seventh inning, led them to a victory. Jose Ramirez continued to add to his RBI total. Josh Naylor hit, I think, his 16th home run of the year. Tyler Freeman hit his fifth home run of the year. Jose got on base twice. And that home run by Tyler Freeman tied it up. But it was the error by Bobby Witt.
Boy.
That was a crazy play. Do we have that play?
We do.
So don't play it yet. This is it?
Yep.
Right. Okay. So don't play it. So the Guardians were down 5-3. Freeman hits the 2-run homer to tie it. Then the Guardians load the bases. I think there were 2 walks. Didn't Ramirez and Naylor both walk?
Yep.
I think. So it's bases loaded, 2 outs. And David Fry, who's been Mr. Clutch, actually did not come through. He had a routine ground ball to shortstop in a 5-5 game. But things were going the Guardians' way, as they have often been this year. Here's what happened.
And Witt hit 2 home runs earlier in the game, by the way. He was having an awesome game, and then catastrophe.
So
3 runs scored on that play.
To put it in perspective, when the shortstop has that ball, almost never does the runner going to second ever beat that.
Never.
Ever.
And that was Josh Naylor running. I mean, think about it. Show that again.
It's on replay.
You have a slow runner going to second, but Josh Naylor, and there's a lot of players, because that's a routine play that would not have been hustling the second base.
Ever.
And that's why Bobby Witt ran there, because he thought it'd be an easy play. But look at Naylor, he's flying down, and he knew he couldn't get there, so he stopped and he threw, and he still had time. If he had made a good throw, Fry was going to be out at first.
And that starts, and Bo, I want to point this out, because Naylor, who busted his ass down the line, that starts with Jose. We talked about it on Monday with Jose's base running. We talk about it all the time with Jose Ramirez. He plays every play like it's his last play. And when your best player sets the tone like that, the other guys follow. And the Guardians this season, from the first game to now the 60th game, or whatever number it is.
60. 40 and 20.
Have made every little play every night, every single time they've been called upon. And it trickles down from Jose to everyone else down the roster. And I think it even starts with Stephen Vogt, too, inspiring and having these guys believe in the fact that, hey, we may not hit 300 home runs. We'll be top 10, Tyvus. Shout out to Tyvus. But we're not going to. We have to do all the little things.
Finish top 10. I think they'll
but whatever it
finish
is,
11 and 15,
we have to do the little things to help us win all these games. And it starts with Jose, who does it every single night on every single play. And it trickles down to guys like Josh Naylor, who in that situation, that's an out 97% of the time. But because he's busting his ass, it puts Bobby Witt in a bang-bang thinking situation, makes a bad throw, 3 runs scored, Guards win.
That was a good slide to break up a double play too. Like the reason,
but it was 2 outs.
Well, no double play.
It was 2 outs.
But the reason he stepped aside, it was like, I'm going to first base.
That's right.
Is because he was barreling down on him, and he was right on top of him. If you want to get them cleats from Naylor, who's about 250, it seems like you don't want to parse to that. And so he forced a bad throw. And it's just little stuff like that. Like you don't count on that stuff in Major League Baseball. That's more like, oh, I saw that in high school or college or something.
It doesn't show up in a box score.
It don't show up in a box score. Don't show up as some home run or RBI or whatever the case may be. But it shows up that you were able to get guys in scoring position and tie that game.
Yeah. And it's funny, Rick Manning on the broadcast said, I think he was trying to turn a double play where there were 2 outs.
Right.
So even he was confused because that looked like a play where you'd step on second, throw to first in a double play. And if Naylor had not been hustling, it could have been, in theory, if there was only 1 out, a double play. Again, when you look at the play, David Fry on a good throw was out by a mile. It's not close at first. But Bobby Witt, without really looking, and listen, Bobby Witt's a great player. He's one of the best young players in the game. I would trade almost any player in baseball to get him. But he assumed that it was going to be easy play at second. He knew before the play Josh Naylor was running. He knows Josh Naylor's not fast. And he's thinking, because you're always, as a good ball player is thinking about what he's going to do when the ball comes his way all the time. And he's thinking, I'm right here, close, I'm going to step on second. And he realized before he got to the base, in his head, I'm not getting there. Naylor's going to beat me. I got to make the throw to first. But by the time watch him. By the time he makes that decision, he's not looking at Naylor. Then he realizes Now he's off balance.
And he's throwing, and he's sliding. It's like a fadeaway jump shot. He's fading away.
Half of his body's this way, so now he's got to kind of make an awkward throw. But that's an awkward throw there.
Let me ask you this though, Bull. Listen, is there a chance that he forgot how many outs there were? Because look, if I'm a shortstop, that's a can of corn. Yeah. That's an easy ground ball. Most people pat it and throw it to first base, and it's over.
I don't think so, because you could tell he threw to first before stepping on the base.
Yeah.
So he knew he had to get one out. I guess it's possible for a moment. Yeah. I just think when you look at him, show it one more time, Anthony. Look how close he is to second base when he gets the ball.
Yeah.
99 times out of 100, that's an out at second base. And 60 times out of 100, it's an out by a mile at second base.
And Naylor's taken off on the crack of the bat with 2 outs.
Right.
And that's part of the reason he was able to get to second base as quickly as he was.
So watch
as soon as that goes
look
up.
Look how close Bobby Witt is to the base. I mean, he's right there. So normally a routine grounder to short, in this situation you're going to throw to first. But because he's running to second base and is that close, he was thinking, it'll be an easy out. And then he thought that for a millisecond. And then when he looked, he's like, he's saying, oh, shit. I'm not beating him there. Yeah. What the hell's Naylor doing here this fast?
Yeah.
It's really crazy that Naylor got down the base that fast.
And it goes back to the base running, the secondary lead he took, the movement on the crack of the bat. And even before that, can we go back to the Freeman home run for 1 second?
Yeah.
And we pulled up the Freeman home run.
Show that, yeah.
That was such a good swing by Freeman because it was a pretty damn good pitch. It was a breaking ball low in the zone. Watch how Freeman tracks the ball on a pretty good pitch. It's not a hanging breaking ball by any means.
That's a tough pitch to hit for a home run because it's low and inside. It's low,
and we'll show you Witt's home run earlier when he hit it off McKenzie. McKenzie left that breaking ball in the upper half of the zone, 77. That's essentially on a platter for a hitter of Bobby Witt Jr.'s caliber. In this situation, he went digging for that, and to have the power to hit that into the left field bleachers bowl on a low 80-mile-an-hour breaking ball, the way he tracked that pitch, that was an incredible swing.
I've never liked when pitchers throw non-traditional power hitters breaking pitches. Because to me, I don't want to speed your bat up. You batting 7th, 8th, 9th for a reason. I'm not going to give you an opportunity to sit on a curveball. Now it was a good pitch and he hit a good pitch, but I'm not a big fan of that. If I'm up there, I'm trying to blow it past you.
The thing that's very interesting is Seth Lugo. I was talking about this yesterday. This guy has been in the Cy Young conversation for the first 2 months of the season.
Oh, he was dealing.
He's been great, and the Guardians scored 5 runs off him. I think it's only the second game all year he's given up more than 2 runs, I believe, maybe 3.
I think it's the second game over 3 runs.
Yeah, he was rolling in this game.
And he was rolling, and then, the Guardians fell behind early. They came back. They
scored 8 unanswered runs.
It was a great job, and to get 5 runs off this guy who's been he's got like a 2.20 ERA after this start, so that tells you how good he was pitching before this. It was a great performance. The Guardians now season high, 20 games over 500.
Start Nick Sandlin today too.
Yeah, that's more of an opener type of thing. I think Logan Allen's supposed to pitch today. Here's what I suspect is happening. The Guardians announced that Nick Sandlin is going to start.
I have his numbers if you want them. That's your.
Well, it doesn't matter. Here's what's happening today. So, the weather's bad for tonight. Mm-hmm. So I think what the Guardians are doing is they're worried about the game getting started and then the rain wiping it out, or
they have to come back and restart it.
So what they're going to do is they're going to pitch Sandlin for the first inning or 2. And then they'll go to Logan Allen. They're using him as an opener, not really a starter.
I thought it was a little different reason. Now, I didn't look at the weather forecast. Full disclosure, did not look at the weather forecast. But Logan Allen's been good against lefties this year. He's been horrific against righties. You ready for these splits, Bull?
Yeah.
I know you like numbers.
Yeah.
Against lefties this season, where Logan Allen is a lefty pitcher.
Yeah.
A 244 opponent batting average, a 706 opponent OPS. Solid.
Right.
Against righties this year.
Yeah.
Righties are hitting 317 off Logan Allen with a 948 OPS.
Yeah, that's pretty disturbing.
The top of the Royals lineup, their best hitters, Bobby Witt. The other guys top of the lineup, I'm drawing blanks on the name.
Salvador Perez.
Mostly righties. So I thought they were going Sandlin at least through the first top of the lineup iteration, so Logan Allen only faced him twice.
Either way, he's not a real starter. He's an opener.
Exactly.
Teams use openers. The Guardians haven't really done that this year. A lot of teams do it. that is a reason.
That's one reason I thought.
A lot of times teams do it with their weaker starters, so their weaker starters can avoid the best part of the lineup in the first inning. It's a smart move. Yeah. So you take a good pitcher, a good relief pitcher who's really good in one inning, and you have him face the best of the lineup. So, in theory, if a guy like Logan Allen is going to pitch 5 innings, well, now he's only going to face those best hitters 2 times or maybe even 1 time.
As opposed to
2 or 3.
And because of the splits and how bad he's been against righties and the Royals' best hitters being right-handed hitters, that's kind of why I was thinking that's the strategy.
That certainly could play a factor. I think it has to do with the weather, too. I think they don't want to waste, they don't want to have him pitch 1 inning or 2 innings.
And then,
I know he pitched terribly in his last start. I think maybe last 2 starts. But he pitched really well before that. I mean, listen, Logan Allen's a back end of the rotation starter.
He is what he is.
The Tristan McKenzie, it's been a weird season for him.
We got to get to that.
Yeah, we have to talk about that.
He started off struggling, then he was pitching great. Well, it should be going like this: struggling, then great, and now he's starting to struggle again. Now, again, he had 7 strikeouts in this one. That's a positive, but he gave up 3 home runs?
Yeah, and 2 were on the exact same pitch.
Yeah. He is leaving way too many. What's the word I'm looking for? Way too many cookies.
I thought
over the plate.
I thought that it was a curveball that
didn't curve.
That didn't curve and hit out. And then he threw a fastball that was like 90, 91.
The 2 home runs
above the letters that he was able to get.
The Royals hit 3 home runs.
Yeah.
One of Bobby Witt was on a hanging breaking ball, which was, like I said, Tyler Freeman went down.
Right.
That's a great swing. The one against Bobby Witt, that was not a good pitch. The other home run that Hunter Renfroe hit and the second of the Bobby Witt home runs were 91-mile-an-hour fastballs, letter high.
Yeah.
And you're not blowing that by anybody.
If you're throwing a fastball at 91,
that's high school,
it's got to either be up here or below the knees.
Or on the corner. But these and we have the tag words
you can't, if you throw a 91-mile-an-hour fastballs in the middle of the plate at the belly button or at the top of the belly,
it's getting clobbered like it did yesterday.
To Bobby Witt, and like Hunter Renfroe's a limited player, but he's not going to make, he's a big power hitter.
I knew that was going. As soon as I said, oh, yeah, he went opposite
field. It's a concern. Listen, the pitching staff
is
a problem right now. The starting rotation is a problem. Once again, though.
He smoked that, by the way.
The bullpen, lights out.
Incredible.
Cade Smith.
He killed this one.
Scott Barlow. And Emmanuel Clase combined to go 3 1/3 or 3 2/3? What did McKenzie pitch? 5 1/3 or 5
1/3?
So 3 2/3 out of the pen. They gave up 1 hit between them, 1 walk, which was by Clase, a rare base runner allowed. I think they had 3 strikeouts, so not a ton of strikeouts by the pen. But Clase walked the batter. Besides that, it was a 1-2-3 inning.
You know what makes me nervous a little bit? People say, are the Guardians, is this sustainable? I think it's sustainable for the regular season. I do. I think they're going to have a great season. I think they'll have, one of the top three records in the AL. And I think they'll win this division going away. Now,
I don't think they're going to win it going away.
Well,
I think the Twins will be there, and I think the Royals may be there, but I think the Twins will be there.
Well, here's the way I'm looking at it right now. That was a huge game because the Royals was up 5-0. That game was supposed to be a game where you can gain a whole game on the Guardians, and they let them come back.
Yep.
Now you got a couple more games in the series. If the Guardians win this series or sweep this series, they looking terrible. That's a lot of games. To me, I think the thing that doesn't scare me, I'm a little worried about is when I go into the postseason, I at least want one part of the game that I feel like I'm locked down. My starting pitching is crazy.
Well, the bullpen.
Or the bullpen is like that. So he had that with the bullpen. But it's like, if I would rather want 4 things or 5 things, whether it was defense, I take defense last. I would take bullpen second to last. But I would take starting pitching or power hitting first or second.
Yeah, listen, there are some fair concerns about this team in the long run. There's no doubt. Right now, the Orioles and Yankees, even though they have Yankees are a couple games better than the Guardians, and the Guardians are a half game ahead of the Orioles. I look at the Orioles and Yankees rosters, and they're better. There's no doubt about it. Those teams are better teams. Now, is the gap huge? I don't think it is. I was on foul territory yesterday. We were debating how much better those teams are. Those guys think they're significantly better. I think those teams are better, but not a gap that's insurmountable. The big difference right now is The Orioles have an ace in Corbin Burns. He's an ace. He's a sure thing. The Yankees, I'll give the Yankees credit. I hate to. Their rotation's been phenomenal. Top to bottom, their entire rotation has been absolutely sensational. They have a rookie, if you're not paying attention to anything but the Guardians.
Hill.
They have a rookie named Luis Gil.
Gil, yeah.
Spelled Gil. It's pronounced Heel. This kid has been remarkable. He's probably going to win the Rookie of the Year in the American League the way he's pitching. Their rotation's been lights out, and that's without getting a single start from Garrett Cole, who made his first rehab start. I thought Garrett Cole missed the year. It's trending in the right direction, but we know that when Garrett Cole comes back, he's an ace.
Guardians, I just chalked that up for one run.
Right.
1 to 2 runs, maybe.
Now,
against that
the Orioles and Yankees have significantly better lineups than the Guardians. Top to bottom, they do. That's it. They have better. Okay? The Guardians have a major edge on Baltimore in the bullpen. They have an edge on the Yankees in the bullpen, but not as big as with the Orioles. Their closer, Clay Holmes, has been almost as good as Clase. He's probably been the second best reliever in baseball. Their depth in the pen, they've pitched well out of the pen. Their pen's not as good as the Guardians, but it's not a big gap. And the Yankees have a significant edge on the Guardians in starting rotation and lineup. The Guardians are a better base running team than both those teams. They're better a defensive team than both those teams. But those teams are really good. And here's what I know. The Yankees will spend to get better. The Orioles will probably spend to get better. I don't know about the Guardians, and they have more holes than those teams. So if they're going to be truly competitive with those teams in the playoffs, as you talk about, they've got to get better. They have to get better at starting pitching, and they have to get better in the lineup.
I texted the group chat this last night, and this is my expert analysis of the Guardians through 60 games. They're a fun-ass baseball team. And every time you think they're out of it, they're not. And every time you think, this can't sustain and they can't keep playing at this level, they do. And last night, down 5-0 to Seth Lugo, who's been arguably the best pitcher in the American League this season, or at least one of them. They find a way, and it's Tyler Freeman, and it's Naylor, and it's Jose, and then it's an error on a play from Bobby Witt, who had 4 RBIs and 2 home runs yesterday, and it's Naylor beating out a throw. This team is fun, and I'm enjoying watching Guardians baseball night in and night out in a way which last season and the year before, I just didn't have that same exuberance on a night-to-night basis. Yeah. And I'm not sure if it's just the players playing well. Winning obviously plays a factor in it. This is not a shot at Tito, but somehow changing from Tito to Stephen Vogt has kind of invigorated some of the guys in the lineup.
Oh, the team's been more aggressive.
They've been more aggressive, and it's all coming together to the cumulative product that right now the Guardians are almost must-watch TV in my mind. They're fun as hell right now, G.
McNuggets, I'm going to make this, don't steal this at home. Don't be stealing this. I want to hear this. My analogies on baseball tonight. I don't even know that's still on. See, when you look at the we talk about the Cavs, right? And they talk about their core 4, and we always talk about, well, how can the Cavs take the next step and get to the NBA playoffs? And we talk about specific people taking that next step. Well, the Guardians unsuspectingly have a core 4 too. Jimenez, Quan, Jose Ramirez, and Naylor. And for me, I feel like you know what Quan gonna do.
Oh, yeah.
You know what he bringing to the table, right? You know what Jose Ramirez is bringing to the table. The 2 guys, for them to be on the level of the Yankees, I need Naylor to take that step where it's just not 25. If he can give me 30 home runs, now all bets are off. If Jimenez,
he's on pace for about 40 right now.
If he can keep that up, and if Jimenez can give me somewhere in the 20s, low 20s, still give me the glove work, now you look at what you got. You got Quan leading off. You know what he can do in the bases. You know he's going to hit. You got Jose Ramirez. He's going to be a guy that's going to lead the league in RBIs. And then you got power with Naylor, and then you got Jimenez that's going to offer something. And then your wild card is Fry. That's Karis LeVert.
Right.
Karis LeVert could give you 50. Fry looks like he's gonna be able to give you something. So they got some guys that if they step their game up throughout the season, I'll say like, hey, they can hang with the Yankees or Baltimore. But they got a ways to go.
Yeah, and they still need a shortstop, I think. I don't want to keep going with the shortstop situation they have. They need to get better there. I hope they will. They're going to need a starting pitcher. But yeah, they're playing great baseball. I like the fact. Listen, Terry Francona is a Hall of Fame manager. I don't know where they'd be if Terry Francona was the manager this year. It's an interesting thing to ponder. It's impossible to say. I will say that I thought in the last couple of years, they played way too conservatively. They did not allow in some cases, he stuck with the veterans. I don't think I think if Francona were here, Miles Straw would be here. By the way, Miles Straw is playing terribly in the minors.
In AAA, yeah.
In the minors, he's not a major league player. I have said it for years, or he's a bench player at best. It was a stupid contract that they wasted money on, and now we're seeing that's 100% true.
You know who been hitting Bull?
Who?
Will Brennan been hitting a little bit.
He's been all right.
He been hitting a little bit. I think what is he? He done hit in the last 4, 5, 6 games.
Yeah, I mean he's been all right. They need a little more.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that like in the past years they did so much sacrifice bunting. They're really not doing that at all. Sacrifice bunts suck. They're giving up outs. Right. We don't have pitchers hitting anymore. I don't need to sacrifice bunt. I should always be playing for more runs. So I like the way they're playing. I do think Stephen Vogt has brought an energy. The whole organization has had a change of philosophy in terms of being more aggressive at the plate, and it has paid off in a big-time way.
They used to take all these pitches, and I'm just looking around like, if you're in the middle of the order, you shouldn't be – your goal is not to go deep in the count. We don't want – who cares if the other guys can't see pitches behind you? They can't hit anyway. Your job is to hit home runs and put points on the board. Yeah. Why are we taking all these pitches and being so conservative? I think Stephen Vogt came in and was like,
Well, they didn't change the hitting coach, right? It's still Chris Valaika.
Right.
So
what's
the
philosophy
changed?
of
It's
the
philosophy of the organization.
No doubt. And all the guys have taken to it, and they seem really energized by having a young manager. You know, Terry Francona, not that he was a bad manager for young guys, but he tended to connect with the older players more. And I think Stephen Vogt is a guy who can connect with the younger players more because he just retired. And, you know, even though he's closer in age, obviously, to the older players, still, it's, you know, he's playing a new school brand of baseball. And I love it. And they needed that. And that has nothing to do with Terry Francona as a manager. It was time for a change.
Yeah.
They made the change at the right time, and right now it looks like they changed to the right guy.
And by the